the last resource which you all are going to study is the mineral resource. Now, what basically a mineral resource is, we can say that it is a naturally occurring pure organic substance in the earth's crust. Okay, this is a substance which is naturally occurred or produced in the crust of the earth. And you all know that more than 2000 minerals have been identified. They all are organic, they all are inorganic in their nature, and they are formed by various combinations of elements. Like so half of them are inorganic in nature, half of, and a small portion is organic in nature. The inorganic ones are formed by various combinations of different elements, but the ones which are organic, they are having single element. And this type of minerals are gold, silver, diamond, sulfur, etc., which are formed by single elements only. Now, minerals, they are a very valuable and natural resources. They are finite in nature and also non-renewable. So, it is very important that mineral resources should be handled with care. Now, mineral ore, if we talk about mineral ore, they are just combination of different minerals from which a single substance is created. Substance like metal is created, and by combining these different minerals, what is done, a substance is created which is extracted. After extracting, what they are doing, they are manufacturing it and making it as a useful product for the people. In terms of money, they are extracting it. I'm again repeating, what is ore? Basically, it is combination of different minerals. Once the substance is created, it is the raw material is manufactured for humans so that it is easily available for daily use. Yeah. Now, minerals, they provide the materials for making many things, like they are used for industry based societies, they are used in roads, cars, they are used in computers, fertilizers. And the demand and the usage of this minerals are increasing day by day due to the growth of the population, because the number of people are increasing, the growth is also good of the people, and due to that the growth requires more minerals to be consumed, more minerals for the people. Now, the use of mineral, it basically depends upon its deposits. Now, there are some countries which are very rich in minerals, and others, there are still many countries where they are having no deposit of the minerals. So at that time, what they are doing, either they are, the countries those who are rich in minerals, they can use these facilities. The ones who are not having this option, transportation is done, exported minerals are exported from countries in order to use, so that the people over there can make use of those minerals. The next one, I can say that like I'll give you one example. Aluminium. Now, aluminium is light, it is strong, and also it is durable in nature. So where we are using it, we are using it in aircraft, we are using it in shipping, we are using it in car industries. Gold and silver, platinum, it is used in jewelry industry for making ornaments. Then copper is used for coins. Also, it is used for making pipes and wires. In silicon is used in computer industry. Apart from this, conservation also plays a very important role. Now, why conservation plays an important role? Because using the minerals appropriately is important. Okay, so there are certain points that we should take care, like using the minerals in a planned and a sustainable manner. We know that minerals are non-renewable, so we should use it appropriately. Recycling of metals, one of the example can be gold and silver, like recycling it, reusing the gold and giving it some other structure, a new design, that is we can do. Or we can find out alternative substitutes of that mineral which can extinct, so we can find out different substitutes for the metals. Now, this is what basically mineral is. Okay, now I have given you an example where aluminum is used, where gold and silver is used, but I'm just going to go through the types. So you all can see over here, types are given, types of minerals. Now these are different types in the raw format, the minerals in the raw format. First type is the fuel and energy mineral, and this fuel and energy mineral, it includes coal, oil, natural gases, petroleum. The second one is metallic and non-metallic minerals. It includes iron, copper, aluminium. Then the third one is industrial minerals, the minerals which are used in the industries, the manufactured in the industries, that is lime and potash. Construction materials, the construction lines are using this type of minerals like sand, stone, the grave material. All these are different minerals. They all are divided into different categories according to their usages. Now this is what was types of minerals. Now generating the minerals, we know the minerals occurred in the earth. There are types, it is divided into types, but how they are extracted, that is also important. For extraction of minerals, there is a process which is called as mining. I think every one of you all will be aware of what basically a mining is. Okay, in simple words, I can say that extracting the minerals from mines is how it is done, by removing it from the crust, from the deep crust. So basically you can say mining means removing the mineral from area which is very much below the ground level. Now you all can notice over here there are 4 steps, and these 4 steps are used for removing the minerals. So first step is prospecting. Prospecting means searching for minerals. Suppose we know that there is a particular area, the miners, they know that this particular area is rich in mineral or having minerals, so they will search for the minerals over there, that what type of mineral is available in the ground. They just find out the information and try to access what kind of minerals are available. After prospecting is done, the second step is exploration. Now in exploration, what is happening? They are accessing, or you can say they are determining, finding out the size, the shape, at which location the mineral is there, and what economic response or what economic benefit they are going to get due to that mineral. First they are searching for the place where mineral exists. After that they are determining that what is the size of the mineral, means how many people or equipment will be required for doing the mining. Then shape, then in which location it is there, and after mining what economic value it is going to provide. Once this is done, the third step is development, means they are preparing now plans in order to access to that deposit, so that that deposit they can mine or remove, or they can extract it from the underground level, they can extract it. And last one is exploitation. Extract, it means extracting the minerals from the mines. The last step is what? They are actually now removing the minerals from the mines. Now this was the 4 steps. I think this is a but easy process while learning, but in times of implementation it is a difficult one. Okay, now this was the procedure for how mining is done. Now over here also there are 2 types of mining. First you can say is surface mining, and second you can say subsurface mining. Now in water resource I have already explained you all what is surface and subsurface. Now these 2 types of mining, how this is done. Surface mining means what? The upper layer mining. In this what is happening, the upper layer on the earth, whatever the upper layer is there, mining is done on that layer by removing the first layer, like by removing the vegetation layer or by removing the dirt layer. Only the first 1-2 layers are being removed in order to extract the mine. Okay, and the second one is subsurface mining. In subsurface mining what is happening, digging is done in depth. In order to extract the mines are stored, or you can say produced in the depth of the earth's crust. So over the deep digging is done in order to remove the mines. You all understood the difference between surface and subsurface. Subsurface means underground, where digging is done at underground level, and surface means on the first layer itself, the first 1-2 layer, only the layer is removed, like the vegetation layer is removed or crop layer is removed, dirt is removed in order to generate the substance. This First, surface mining is bit easy as compared to subsurface mining. Now we have already learned what are mineral resources, how they are formed, what are types of mineral resources, and how they are classified in different industries, how they are used by the people, what is mining, what are the types of mining. Now the last part, which is very important, is called as mine safety. Now safety is one of the important issue in the mining industry. Okay, and this safety is important in case of subsurface mining. Now why I'm telling subsurface mining? Subsurface mining means the mining which is called as the underground mining. For that purpose we require large number of equipments. Okay, so extra precautions must be there. So it is very important in case of subsurface mining. Whereas subsurface mining, it does not require that much of equipments, or not men large amount of safety precautions need to be followed. Now you'll know that there was a Courier's mine disaster in Europe. It was one of the worst mining accidents which involved the death of 1099 miners, and this occurred on 10th March 1906. Okay, now why I'm talking about this, because safety plays a very important role, and India is lacking in terms of safety as compared to other countries. Over here, the workers, the daily wages people, or those who are working in construction line, they are not getting proper protection. They're not getting safety equipments. Okay, so that is why taking care of their employees is one of the important factors which should be considered. Now, mining ventilation is also a major safety concern for miners. Why it is a major safety concern? Because proper ventilation should be provided to them. Why proper ventilation and proper ventilation equipment should be provided? Because they are dealing with different minerals, and sometimes they comes into direct exposure of harmful gases or heat or dust, which occurs, or which are released during subsurface mining, and which is hazardous for their life. So that is why mining ventilation is also one of the important aspect. We all know that high temperatures and humidity may result in heat related illness. While working in the mining field, due to high temperature, due to humidity, they get heat related illness like heat stroke, and which can be fatal, which can be death causing. Now they should take care of certain points. Now we know that why mining safety is important, because the workers protection should be at first. Now we all happily use all the mining resources or the products generated from those resources happily, but we never think of the people behind that, those who are working very hard, and what disadvantage they are having or they come across while getting exposure to hazardous gases. So it is responsible of the government or the people to provide them proper protection, proper training, proper equipments, so that they can work in a healthy environment. So certain points they should be taken care of, like first one I'll suggest, dangerous task requires proper planning and communication. Now irrespective of the fact the employee is old or the employee is the new one, all the tasks, suppose the mining is needs to be done in the depth layer. Okay, so proper planning and communication should be done between the team, that how they are going to conduct it, or what materials they required, and every norms should be followed. First and the foremost thing is, while doing such type of activities, communication should be there. There should be no gap between no communication gaps, because communication gaps can create problems. Second one is get professional training. Now why I'm telling about professional training in, okay, it does not matter whether the person is a senior employee or the newest one. Everyone should get proper training. Okay, they should get professional training. Why professional training? Because these trainings, they include certain norms, certain standard, a way of working where they get the equipment, and they know how to work in a proper environment, and what should be done in case of emergency. All those things are taught in professional training. Okay, so it should be taken care of that each one of you or the minors, they are getting professional training. Even the person who is in this field 20 years, okay, that person should also get the training. Why? Because new technologies are introduced and new techniques will be taught in professional training, so everyone should be aware of what is going on and what are the new technologies they can use and take advantage of. The next is always wear safety equipment. A proper safety equipment should first of all should be provided by the government to these people or the company, those who are hiring the workers, like proper helmets, like safety glasses or shielded uniform. Shielded uniform is one of the most important things that should be provided. These are the safety equipments in case of any hazardous event. At least the person will not suffer maximum amount of loss when the person will come in direct contact of hazardous gas. Okay, the next point is supervise your team members. Means the being a team leader, it is a responsibility of the supervisor to guide the team members properly, to see the communication is being taking place properly, they are following the norms, they are doing the work properly, they are giving the signal to each and every person. All the things should be followed under the supervision of a professional. The last one is documents for your safety procedure. Now, if in case the, you can say, accident happened, so all the team members should know that what exactly needs to be done. Okay, this is what safety procedure is all about. It means once the accident is done, once the accident happened, they should not panic and think and start think what to do. The norms should be there in such a proper way that once the accident happened, now they know what way they have to follow, what they have to do, the do's and don'ts they should know, and the safety procedures. How this can be possible when the safety procedures are clearly defined. They, when they are signing the contract, they should get a safety procedure should be given, then what are the do's and what are the don'ts, so they know what things should be followed and how the working should be done, so that without panicking the life of the people can be saved. So this is what mind safety is all about. So by this we have completed all the mineral resources, all the 5 mineral resources, and the next topic I will share in the next video.